You've been told your whole life that nuts are a healthy snack. That bowl of mixed nuts on your counter, it feels like a smart choice for your heart, your energy, your health. But what if I told you that for a man over 60, some of those very nuts could be secretly working against you, undermining your energy, clouding your mental clarity, and even impacting your vitality where it matters most? I'm Dr. Katherine Rotker, a specialist in geriatric and men's health. For over 20 years, my practice has focused on one thing: helping men like you reclaim their natural energy, sharpness, and confidence without relying solely on prescriptions. And in that time, I have seen a consistent and surprising pattern. Well-intentioned men are falling into a healthy food trap, and everyday snacking habits are often the hidden culprit. The wrong choice in nuts can promote inflammation, interfere with crucial medications, and leave you feeling more tired than energized. This isn't about fear. It's about empowerment. It's about making simple, strategic swaps that directly support better blood flow, healthier testosterone levels, sharper cognition, and more restful sleep. Today, I will give you two clear lists. The first list details the 4 nuts you should stop eating immediately. These are the ones commonly found in trail mixes and sold as healthy snacks, but they carry specific risks for senior men. The second list is your new grocery list, the 4 science-backed nuts you should be eating every single day for their proven benefits. We will walk through all 8 of them together, and I will warn you about the single most dangerous nut for men in our age group, one that might be sitting in your pantry right now. If you are ready to make choices that truly serve your health, do this for me now. Hit that subscribe button and tap the notification bell so you don't miss our practical advice for senior vitality. In the comments below, simply type 1 if this message resonates with you, or 0 if there's something else you need from me to better support your health journey. Now, let's start with the first nut you must avoid: Brazil nuts, which I often call the mineral mismatch disruptor. This is a classic case of a food that seems incredibly healthy on the surface, but hides a very specific and potent risk for men in our age group, particularly because of its extreme selenium content. One of my long-term patients, an active 68-year-old, came to me not for a specific illness, but with a collection of frustrating symptoms. He described a lingering fatigue that his morning coffee couldn't touch, and he was experiencing a noticeable thinning of his hair. Most concerning to him was a persistent, slight tremor in his hands and a feeling of mental fuzziness that he said was making him feel unlike himself. Like many men, he had assumed this was just an inevitable part of life. We ran a full battery of tests, checking his thyroid, his vitamin levels, his hormones, all the usual suspects. Everything came back within normal ranges, which was good news, but it left us without an answer. The real clue came during a follow-up conversation about his diet. He was health conscious and mentioned his daily habit of eating a small handful of Brazil nuts, believing they were a powerhouse for his prostate and immunity. Most of us are taught that Brazil nuts are a superfood, packed with selenium for a healthy thyroid and immune system. This belief makes it easy to overlook the fact that they are quite literally too much of a good thing. Brazil nuts contain a staggering amount of selenium. Your body needs only a tiny amount of this mineral each day, and just 1 or 2 of these nuts can provide your entire daily requirement. He was eating 4 or 5 a day. This consistent overconsumption leads to a condition called selenosis or selenium toxicity. The symptoms read exactly like his list: fatigue, hair loss, gastrointestinal issues, those neurological tremors, and that cloudy, unfocused feeling in your mind. In more severe cases, this toxicity can even lead to kidney damage. This mineral overload creates a paradox for men's hormonal health. While a little selenium supports healthy testosterone levels and sperm production, an excessive amount does the exact opposite. It can disrupt the delicate processes that create testosterone and negatively impact seminal fluid, which is certainly not what any man is looking for when he chooses a health food. For your kidneys, the risk is twofold. First, the selenium toxicity itself can directly injure kidney tissues. Second, Brazil, nuts are also high in phosphorus and oxalates. If you have any degree of reduced kidney function, which is common and often goes undiagnosed, your body struggles to filter out these excess minerals. This places an immense burden on your kidneys and can accelerate damage over time. In my patient's case, the clinical intervention was straightforward but life-changing. We had him immediately stop eating Brazil nuts. Within 3 weeks, he reported that the constant fatigue had lifted significantly. After about 2 months, the tremor in his hands was completely gone, and he told me his mental clarity had returned sharper than it had been in years. His hair even began to regrow. His case taught a powerful teaching point. Sometimes the culprit behind confusing health symptoms isn't a complex disease. It's a simple dietary misstep that accumulates over time. Now, if you think the issue with nuts is just about eating too much of a good thing, wait until we talk about the most common nut of all, the peanut. This is a difficult one for many people to hear because peanuts feel like such a familiar, affordable, and trusted snack. But for men over 60, they present a set of hidden risks that fly directly under the radar. We've all seen the labels promoting peanuts as a heart-healthy choice, and many of us have a bowl of them on the counter without a second thought. This trust, however, is where the problem can begin. The first major issue lies in how peanuts grow. Unlike tree nuts, peanuts develop underground, which creates a warm, moist environment that makes them highly susceptible to mold. This mold often produces invisible toxins called aflatoxins. You cannot see, smell, or taste these contaminants. While your body can process small amounts, consistent exposure is the real concern. These aflatoxins are potent substances linked to silent, long-term liver stress and a significantly increased risk of certain cancers. This risk is amplified for seniors because our natural detoxification pathways in the liver become less efficient over time, allowing these toxins to accumulate more easily and cause more damage. Beyond contamination, peanuts themselves can be a direct driver of inflammation. They have a very high concentration of omega-6 fatty acids. While we need some omega-6, the typical modern diet is already overflowing with it, and peanuts heavily skew this balance. This imbalance fuels chronic, low-grade inflammation throughout your body. This systemic inflammation is a key driver of arterial plaque buildup. It can worsen joint pain and stiffness, and it directly impairs blood vessel function, which is absolutely critical for healthy erectile function. The way we typically consume peanuts makes this inflammation much worse. Most commercial peanuts are roasted in cheap, refined industrial oils like soybean or cottonseed oil, and then they are loaded with salt. This processing adds more inflammatory fats and drives up blood pressure, completely negating any supposed heart health benefit. Peanuts also present a specific medication interaction risk that is crucial to understand. They contain a notable amount of vitamin K. For the average person, this is fine, but for any man taking the blood-thinning medication warfarin Coumadin, this is a serious concern. Consistent peanut consumption can counteract the drug's effects, making your blood more likely to clot and rendering your medication dose unpredictable and potentially unsafe. Moving on, we come to pecans, which I often think of as the saturated fat trap. They have this wonderful, buttery taste and a reputation as a natural health food, especially around the holidays. But that rich flavor is a direct clue to their primary issue for men in our demographic. I recall a patient, let's call him Henry, a retired engineer in his mid-70s. Henry was a meticulous man who came to me frustrated by a gradual decline in his energy and, more specifically, a noticeable dip in his erectile function that was affecting his relationship with his wife. He was also concerned about occasional lapses in memory, like forgetting names he knew well. He was eating what he thought was a supremely healthy diet, which included a daily handful of pecans he kept on his desk. He told me, "I chose them because they're supposed to be good for you, right?" This is such a common and understandable assumption. We see pecans in healthy trail mixes and gourmet salads, so we naturally believe they are a universally good choice. The problem with pecans lies in their exceptionally high fat content, and a significant portion of that is inflammatory omega-6 fatty acids and saturated fat. Multiple clinical analyses have clearly shown that a diet consistently high in these types of fats directly correlates with poorer vascular health. This is crucial because erectile function is primarily a vascular event. It depends on strong blood flow. These fats can impair the flexibility of your blood vessels and reduce nitric oxide production, which is the very chemical that allows vessels to relax and expand for healthy blood flow. That same inflammatory response also affects the brain. Studies indicate that a diet promoting systemic inflammation and oxidative stress can increase the risk of memory fading and cognitive dysfunction in seniors. The inflammation is thought to contribute to increased blood-brain barrier permeability, allowing more inflammatory compounds to reach sensitive brain tissue, which can cloud memory and slow processing speed. For Henry, the clinical intervention was a simple dietary audit and swap. We had him replace his daily pecans with a different nut we'll discuss later. The results weren't overnight, but within a few months, he reported a meaningful improvement in his energy levels and a positive return of vascular function that benefited his intimate life. His focus also seemed sharper. Now, the final nut on our list to avoid is, for many, the most surprising of all. It is often celebrated as the king of nuts, the most luxurious and healthy choice. But for a man over 60, it can be the most dangerous for your kidneys and your medication regimen. Let me show you what it is. It's a tough one for many macadamia nuts. These nuts have a rich, buttery flavor that makes them feel like a luxurious, healthy treat. But that indulgent quality is precisely what masks their significant downside for metabolic health in senior men. I remember a patient, a wonderful man named Walter in his early 70s. Walter was a disciplined guy who watched his diet carefully, but had developed a habit of eating a small bowl of macadamia nuts each evening while he read. He couldn't understand why, despite his efforts. His waistline was slowly expanding, and his blood sugar levels were creeping up, even though he had cut out obvious sugars and carbs. He believed he was making a smart, keto-friendly choice that supported his heart. This is where we have to confront a difficult truth. Macadamia nuts have the highest fat and calorie content of any nut. A single small handful can pack over 200 calories, primarily from fat. While some of these are monounsaturated fats, the sheer volume of calories is the central problem. For a man in his 60s or 70s, whose metabolism naturally operates at a slower pace than it did at 40, those extra calories add up quickly and silently. They are incredibly easy to overconsume, and the body readily stores that excess energy as visceral fat. This weight gain directly fuels inflammation, which we know impairs blood vessel function, contributing to erectile difficulties and clouding cognitive clarity. The high-calorie load also puts a strain on your body's ability to manage blood sugar effectively, increasing metabolic resistance. For Walter, we simply swapped his evening macadamia nuts for a different, more metabolically friendly option that we'll discuss in a moment. The results were telling. Within a few months, his stubborn weight began to gradually come down, and his follow-up blood work showed much improved blood sugar control. His experience teaches a vital behavioral lesson. We often underestimate the power of small daily indulgences we consider healthy. They can be a primary cause of that frustrating, gradual decline in our health metrics. The goal isn't to feel guilt, but to build awareness, because a single, simple swap can genuinely change the trajectory. Now, let's flip the script and talk about the nuts you absolutely should be eating, starting with chestnuts. They are a true standout for senior men because they are so fundamentally different from other nuts. I want to share a story about a patient named Arthur. Arthur, a vibrant 72-year-old, came to me feeling deeply frustrated. He described a persistent lack of energy that made his favorite activities feel like chores, and he was struggling with a mental fog that made it hard to concentrate during his weekly card games. He felt like his body was slowly running down. When we reviewed his blood panel, one thing stood out. His homocysteine levels were elevated. This is a marker we watch closely because it indicates your body might be struggling with certain B vitamins, and it's linked to both cardiovascular and cognitive risks. This is where chestnuts shine. They are incredibly rich in vitamin B6, a nutrient that acts as a master regulator in your body. Arthur's elevated homocysteine pointed to a B6-related bottleneck. This vitamin is essential for converting food into usable energy, for producing neurotransmitters that keep your mind sharp, and for regulating homocysteine itself. A deficiency can manifest exactly as Arthur described, as fatigue and brain fog. Instead of a prescription, my advice was a food-based intervention. I suggested he incorporate a handful of roasted chestnuts into his diet a few times a week. Unlike most nuts, chestnuts are low in fat and calories, but packed with these beneficial complex carbohydrates and fiber. Within about 6 weeks of this simple addition, Arthur reported a significant return of his natural energy levels. He told me the mental fog had lifted, and he felt more alert and engaged. His follow-up blood work also showed a beautiful improvement in his homocysteine levels. Chestnuts offer a unique nutritional potency. They provide a powerful dose of bioactive B vitamins in a form your body can easily use, making them a more efficient and safer choice than starting another pill. This one small, simple dietary change delivered wide-ranging benefits, supporting his energy, his brain health, and his cardiovascular system simultaneously. Moving on to our second superstar, nut. Let's talk about cashews, which I consider the vitality maintainer. This is a nut that holds a special place in my own family's pantry. My father, now in his 80s, has enjoyed a small handful nearly every day for decades. He swears by them for keeping his energy steady, and as a doctor, I can see the science behind his habit. This personal connection underscores a key point. Cashews are far more than just a simple snack. They are a convenient and effective tool for preventive health, directly supporting the functions that allow men to maintain their independence and vitality. The stakes here are real. Preserving strength, mental sharpness, and restful sleep is fundamental to living life on your own terms. Cashews offer targeted support through their unique nutrient profile. They are an excellent source of both zinc and magnesium. Zinc is a critical mineral for testosterone production and prostate health, acting as a key catalyst in the hormonal processes that maintain libido and physical strength. Magnesium, meanwhile, is essential for hundreds of biochemical reactions, including muscle and nerve function, which supports overall energy levels and physical resilience. Cashews also contain important brain-supporting compounds, like polyphenol and a range of B vitamins. These nutrients work together to combat oxidative stress in neural tissues and support healthy communication between brain cells. This helps protect your memory and cognitive processing speed from decline. Furthermore, the magnesium in cashews plays a dual role by also promoting deeper, more restorative sleep. It helps calm the nervous system and regulates neurotransmitters, while the amino acid tryptophan serves as a precursor for melatonin, the hormone that governs your sleep-wake cycle. To you enjoy cashews, keep your serving to about a small closed handful, roughly 28 grams, and choose unsalted, dry roasted, or raw varieties. Pair them with a protein-rich food to blunt any blood sugar rise. A good cue is to portion them out into a small dish rather than eating straight from the bag, which makes it easier to keep the habit in check without feeling deprived. Our third must-eat nut is the hazelnut, which truly earns its title as the heart and brain food. Let me tell you about a patient of mine, Martin, a retiree in his late 60s. Martin loved his morning toast, but was concerned about his cholesterol levels and a family history of cognitive decline. He felt he was on a path he couldn't change. We decided to make one simple addition to his breakfast routine. Martin started sprinkling a finely chopped handful of hazelnuts onto his oatmeal every morning. This small, everyday change leveraged the powerful nutrition packed into these nuts. Hazelnuts are a phenomenal source of two key nutrients, vitamin E and oleic acid. Vitamin E is a potent antioxidant, and oleic acid is the same healthy monounsaturated fat found in olive oil. These compounds work in tandem to protect your body at a cellular level. The vitamin E acts as a shield, protecting your brain cells and the lining of your blood vessels from oxidative damage, which is like internal rust. Simultaneously, the oleic acid actively helps to reduce levels of LDL, the bad cholesterol, while supporting healthy HDL cholesterol. This one-two punch directly supports clearer arteries and a sharper mind, improving blood flow to all the areas that need it most. A secondary but valuable benefit is their decent fiber content, which aids in digestive regularity and helps maintain stable blood sugar levels. Martin's intervention was this simple daily habit. Within about 3 months, his dedication paid off. His follow-up blood work showed a very encouraging improvement in his cholesterol ratio. Even more gratifying was his report that he felt more mentally clear and focused, especially during his morning readings. The practical prescription is easy. A recommended serving is roughly 1 ounce, or about 20 hazelnuts. For the best absorption of their nutrients, I recommend buying them raw and giving them a light toast at home yourself, which enhances their flavor without damaging their healthy fats. Store them in an airtight container in a cool, dark place to keep them fresh and prevent them from turning rancid. Our fourth and final essential nut is the pistachio. Pistachios are especially valuable for men over 60 because they deliver targeted support for blood pressure, cholesterol, and blood vessel flexibility, all of which are crucial for maintaining energy, vitality, and overall health. These benefits come from a unique combination of nutrients. First, pistachios are rich in an amino acid called arginine. Your body uses arginine to produce nitric oxide, a compound that signals your blood vessels to relax and widen. This improved blood flow supports healthy circulation, which is foundational for physical stamina and erectile function. Second, they offer a significant amount of potassium, a mineral that helps your kidneys flush out excess sodium. This process directly counterbalances the blood pressure-raising effects of sodium, helping to keep your numbers in a healthier range. Pistachios also contain lutein and zeaxanthin, antioxidants that accumulate in the retina of your eye to help protect your vision by filtering harmful blue light. They are also a good source of phytosterols, plant-based compounds, that structurally resemble cholesterol. These phytosterols compete with dietary cholesterol for absorption in your gut, effectively helping to lower your overall cholesterol levels. The act of shelling them also provides a built-in portion control mechanism, slowing down your eating pace and allowing your body to register fullness more effectively. A practical daily serving is about a half cup of shelled pistachios, which is a generous handful. For the healthiest option, choose dry roasted and unsalted varieties to maximize the benefits without the downside of extra sodium. A great way to incorporate them is to keep a bowl of in-shell pistachios on your table. Shelling them yourself makes for a satisfying and mindful snack. When included regularly in the right amount, pistachios can translate into tangible benefits. You may notice steadier energy during the day, improved stamina during physical activity, sharper focus during conversations, and more reliable sexual performance. Over time, the combined effects on circulation, cholesterol, and eye health can help you stay active, engaged, and confident in both body and mind. What I see in my practice every single day confirms a powerful truth. The trajectory of your health and vitality is not set in stone by your age. It is shaped every day by the small, repeated choices you make. The difference between a patient who feels his energy fading and one who feels vibrant and engaged often comes down to these seemingly minor daily habits. This is where your true power lies. You have more control over how you age than you might think. The nuts you choose are far more than just snacks. They are direct signals to your body. When you choose wisely, you send a message that says you are ready to support healthy blood flow, sharpen your mind, and fuel your body efficiently. Each smart choice is a meaningful intervention, a building block for a healthier tomorrow. It is never too late to start sending your body the right signals. So I want you to take that simple, powerful step. Open your pantry and look inside. Swap out those Brazil nuts, peanuts, pecans, and macadamias. Replace them with the true champions for senior men: chestnuts, cashews, hazelnuts, and pistachios. This single, straightforward act can profoundly impact your circulation, your hormone balance, your cognitive sharpness, and your sleep quality. You don't need a complete overhaul. You just need to start with one smart swap today. My greatest hope is that you walk away from this video feeling empowered and confident. You have the knowledge to make a change that truly serves your health. I am here in your corner, dedicated to providing you with the clear, practical advice you need to live your fullest life.